I don't think I should do this. This is pretty risky, you know. I got an opportunity, Auntie, to do this full time. And she was like, yo, Steve, these people, they rock with you. You ain't gonna fail because they ain't gonna want you to fail and you ain't gonna let them down.
Las Vegas, make some noise!
Let's go!
If you're ready, then Steve,
Make some noise!
goes for the barrier into level 3. That will save my arm!
I'm just a kid from St. Louis, Missouri, man. Like, I never thought I would leave the state, let alone leave the country. See, I still don't believe it, bro. Trust me. People don't believe it when I tell them what I'm doing. I don't know, it just does something to me, man. Fighting games, yo,
Today on Trash Talk, we have a very special guest with over a decade plus of commentary experience across at least 15 fighting game titles and with over 30 Evo commentary credits to their name alone.
Wow.
In the comments, please make some noise for one of the most premier voices in the fighting game scene, Tasty Steve. What's going on, my man?
Brian, yeah, yo, thank you for the intro. Damn, I wasn't prepared for that. And it's going pretty well, man. It's going pretty well. I can't complain, man, but it's good to hear from you. I've been a fan of the Trash Talk series. I like what you're doing over here. And like, thanks, bros. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for hopping on. I know you're very busy with the travel schedule. I think you're one of the most booked commentators in the FGC of all time, and you're all over the planet all the time. You didn't tell me where you're going to next, but can I guess? Are you going to Brazil?
No, I mean, look, I wish I was going to Brazil. I wish I was going to Brazil. That's still actually on my list of places to go. I got a lot of friends over there that I want to go hang out with, but close enough though. It's on my list.
Okay. So you got more commentary gigs coming up. What was the last commentary you were just at? Was that Evo France?
It was First Attack. Oh yeah, First Attack, and then before that it was Evo France. But yeah.
France to Puerto Rico, you're just all over the world. I mean, every time we sync up, you drop like another country that sometimes I almost got to like pull up a map to understand like where in the world is Steve. Like, did you ever imagine like all this time ago that your fandom of gaming and fighting games would take you all over the planet the way it's done in your career today?
Oh man, I'm gonna be real. I have to like bring myself back down a couple times because like I'm just a kid from St. Louis, Missouri, man. Like I never thought I would leave the country. I never thought I would leave the state, let alone leave the country. I mean, I did leave the state, but you know, who knows? You know, I never thought in a million years, man. And anybody that grew up with me and who like knows me, like coming up, they would tell you that like I've been playing games that long for it to be the thing that made me successful. It was like a natural, but to me, I didn't see it. But nah, man, I couldn't. No, I still don't believe it, bro. Trust me. People don't believe it when I tell them what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, back then when you were like getting started in the scene, calling this a career like that didn't exist. It wasn't a thing to do, right? To talk about video games while people are competing across the world, like that wasn't really a thing. There was like local communities coming up and some international showings, but it wasn't a career path. So I can't blame you for not foreseeing this future that you've built for yourself at that time. Before we get into the details, I do want to get some intel on your origins in St. Louis and the Midwest, especially from your era, because I feel like that's one of the least documented parts of the American FGC history. It's the part that I'm the least familiar with myself. So we're definitely going to get into that. But I want to hit you with some rapid fire questions real quick, just to like throw them at you. Man. Get something going for the people to chew on a little bit, get to know a little bit about Tasty Steve. I don't want you to think. I just want you to answer, okay? Can we do that?
Let's go.
Okay, all right. First one. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Favorite movie?
Oh man, The Fifth Element.
Oh, good one. Favorite fighting game character ever?
Oh, geez, you can't do that.
Drop it.
Zappa,
got it. Favorite fighting game to play casually?
Oh, wow. To play casually, Guilty Gear Action Core.
Favorite fighting game to play competitively?
Oh, you son of a gun. Competitively, Street Fighter. Yeah.
Which
Street
one?
Fighter. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was my jam. That's what I would go ahead and be in.
All right, game you spent the absolute most time playing?
Oh wow, like ever?
Yeah, if you had to guess.
If I had to guess, it was probably be Guilty Gear, Accent Core, or maybe Virtua Fighter.
Okay, recent favorite country that you visited. You go all over the world. What's your favorite one recently?
Oh man, I'm gonna be real. Evo France, Nice, man, that place was that place was beautiful. That little area, oh, it wasn't even like crazy, like exotic. It was just like the perfect kind of like lived in big city, small city vibes that I have enjoyed for quite some time. So
Okay.
yeah, most definitely.
I heard it was better than Paris for many people. I've heard mixed reviews about Paris from FGC folks.
I agree with that times two. Like when I
Okay.
tell you that like I'm trying to go back. So I'm happy that this is a thing because any reason to go back and look, I'm telling you, Brian, right now, you would love it. I'm
All
telling
right.
you, you would love it. Oh, dude, yes. But of most recent new place, for sure, it was Nice.
Okay, I got to make my way out there. All right. Favorite game to commentate?
Favorite game to commentate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Why would you say you don't need me to think? This is definitely a
Don't think,
thinking
don't
question.
think.
This is super loaded.
Just
This
throw
is
it out.
super loaded.
Of all time, throw it out.
Of all time? Oh my God! It would be Tekken 7. Tekken
Okay.
7 with Rip. Yeah, it has to be.
Those
It
are
has
some
to be.
good times for sure. Weirdest
Bruh.
game you've commentated?
Weirdest game. I've Oh my God. I would say Jenga.
Okay.
Jenga. Me and Say Jam. Yeah, if you know, you know. Me and Say Jam commentating Jenga.
I think I've seen that clip. Was that at like the world's greatest gamer? Was that at that event or?
It was one of the HyperX, I think. It was one of the
Okay.
throwback like HyperX events.
Classic. All right, last one here. Why do you hate peas so much?
Bro, what dog? Look, you're a person that eats for health. And you know what I'm saying? I just assume you have great taste. And personally, I don't think peas taste like anything. I feel like you're a pea enjoyer. And I
Oh, yeah.
never wanted to have this conversation with you. And you're enthusiastic about this. I have a question. Do you have peas in your house right now?
Yeah, I probably have a can of peas and but I always keep frozen peas on hand. Always.
So you have two sources of peas in your house at any point in time?
mostly
They don't
frozen,
think that's
mostly
crazy?
frozen, okay?
What do peas taste like?
Whatever seasoning you put on them, man.
So why do you have to put seasoning on peas?
Why do you have to season your food? What do you mean?
I feel like I should be able to enjoy peas without just in its bareness. I shouldn't need anything. Otherwise it just tastes like fresh cut grass mushed into a ball.
It's a
Like,
vegetable, man. It's
it's so
how it
gross.
is.
Oh my God, it's so I'm just saying. I just don't get all the hubbub. I just don't like peas, bro.
I don't know.
They're
There's
gross.
hubbub.
I'm actually getting sick just thinking about it. I'm actually getting sick just thinking about it, bro. I
Yeah.
don't. It's crazy to me that people eat peas on purpose. Like I'm pretty sure, and I've said this. I've gone on record to say this. I probably eat maybe 6 or 7 peas a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I limit my pea intake. You know what I'm saying?
You
I'm not one of
have
these
been on
people.
record for this because I pulled up the tweet and you said this in May 26, 2020. I literally eat less than 20 peas tops an entire year. If there's more than one on the spoon, I actually may vomit at this point. This is a crime. And this is in response to someone giving you a whole like cardboard cutout of about a dozen cans of peas, like a
Bruh.
whole grocery store tray, plastic wrapped of
I want
canned
you to
peas.
know I still don't know who sent those peas because they knew it would be hell to pay. 1, 2, they were like, Steve, we need these peas. It's the pandemic. So I was like, I would die before I eat these peas. These peas will be there long after me. You guys would live just fine, like kings, if you will. But I'm not eating no damn peas.
That sounds like critical supplies. Yeah, that's like right when the lockdown started happening, when no one knew what was going on during the pandemic. It sounds like someone was trying to keep you fed and alive.
That's crazy. Was it you? Are you telling on yourself right now,
Hey,
Brian?
man,
Is that what you're trying to tell me, bro?
Who knows? Who knows? There was no return address on that shipment of peas, but maybe someone's looking out for you, man. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Maybe you were new. I wouldn't eat them, so I would be your pea bank. You would have a
keep
pea
'em safe.
surplus doing that.
That might be it. Might be it. Hey, thanks for checking out the brand new Trash Talk content. And maybe you're enjoying the new and refreshed look on the brand new Trash Talk YouTube channel. Well, whether or not you're tuning in on YouTube or Spotify or another podcast platform, I wanted to thank today's sponsor, you. To commemorate kicking off the new season of Trash Talk, we've also launched a new merch line. This new merch line's on a brand new merch store over at Orchid 8. You can check out t-shirt and hoodie designs for the new Trash Talk logos and extra trashy logos. We also have brand new unique designs like Hajoken, custom move lists, one more coffee sip for real, and of course, Brian F's signature spaghetti. On top of that, of course, we've got all the designs on mugs as well. To check out what's available, just head over to brianf.shop to see all the brand new merch. Okay, that's all I got. Back to the episode. Aside from the fact that you have no taste in vegetables, you definitely have great taste in fighting games, and I want to get back to like where that began, because you already mentioned it before. You know, you're from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah,
I got to be honest, I don't know much about the FGC origins of St. Louis, Missouri, right? I don't know a lot of the lore of the players coming up there, and you know, like, to me, like, you're the big representative of this region, and I think for the greater Midwest region as a whole in the American FGC, there's been breakout players and personalities from that region, but I feel like pre-Street Fighter V 2016 era, in the Street Fighter 4 era, I mean, I know about you, I know about Flo, and I'm not sure where from the Midwest Flo was from originally. And beyond that, it's like, it's hard to really get a good sense of the journey of a fighting game enjoyer in that time from Missouri. So can you like take me back to like where you first got started with fighting games and how you eventually got in contact with like the greater FGC, what that experience was like for you?
So it's a long story. And I'm gonna compact it just to cut it, you know what I'm saying, just to keep it not as brief, but we're gonna give you the details.
All right.
So for me, like, it kind of happened on like two fronts. And those two fronts were going to an arcade and like just meeting people, saying hi to people. And one of my friends convinced me, after going to the mall and seeing all these people that I just thought were like really good. Among those people were Sean Riviera, who is now working for Riot, Unconquerable. If you know, you know. This guy, Brad Vitale, Slips, RIP. Rest in peace to my boy. This guy Diedrich, known by Grunt. He's a really big guy. And just seeing these guys around until one day, this guy, Kaminari Oyaji, was telling me, he was like, hey, man, you know, like, they have hookups and stuff that, like, you can go to. And I was like, all right, but I'm just, like, watching these guys play. But I didn't know at the time who I was watching play, especially on the side of Tekken, right? So, and the thing is that, like, I'm going to an arcade that has, like, everything from, like, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3 Double Impact, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, all the KOF games, and like had some Guilty Gear in there, and like we're just traveling back and forth. And so I'm like meeting a bunch of people, not just by way of one game, but like by multiple games. So I'm over there playing mostly Guilty Gear because I'm a Guilty Gear anime nerd, right? But we also got like the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machine going ham, and those guys were cheap. This dude Rex, this guy was actually cheap. This dude Glenn, these guys were actually cheap, right? And I'm just like a scrub, like I'm a super scrub, right? But I think I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to the arcade one day, and one of the first things I remember seeing, like as like a person that knew that I was like, yo, I love this, was like I came down the mall steps in Northwest Plaza, right? Northwest Plaza, the tilt. My friends will tell you. My homies AJ, Shetron Chilin, Jody the Great, PJ, STL Bad Boy, Hatman, Kaminari Oyaji, you know what I'm saying? Like all these guys, they really did like keep me in this scene and keep me like meeting some of my best friends. I call them brothers to this day in that way, right? And to the point where like we literally would just meet up at the arcade and we would play these different games, not just one game. We would play like Street Fighter, right? Like we would play Tekken. We would play Guilty Gear. We play a little Third Strike on the side. We had KOF, you know, 13 guys, right? And like our community was like super small. It was like 15 people on our side, right? But like we had a pretty strong connection to the point where like people from the city, St. Louis, where I'm from, would literally come from, well, they would come to St. Louis from like all parts around like Missouri to like pick me
Mhm.
and my friends up. My friends Rob and Greg, they would literally come pick us up just so we can like stay at their house, play the game over the weekend, and then got to the point where we would like start going to tournaments. So like the Midwest Championships, the season's beatings, the final rounds, we would all like chip in together and we would like literally go in sleeping, 5, 6 to one
Of
hotel room. You know
course.
what I'm saying? I know a couple of you guys are still out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? But we did all those things, but we would chip in for gas and the whole nine. And that to me kind of like was my bearings of like fighting games, right? I didn't know who any of these people were. I didn't know who Hatman was. I didn't know who Techonomics was. Like, and these are all like old school Tekken players. And like the guy Rex and Glenn, they were kind of like our Street Fighter like equivalent guy, right? Like those are the people that I looked at and was like, damn, these are the guys that I need to beat, right? And it was
Mm.
smaller, but those guys were really good. Like they were really good. Like I remember, just to give you like a throwback to how long ago this was, I remember playing CVS2 with this guy in the video game bar at like 6 a.m. from
Mm.
like 9 the night before, right? And we basically learned about roll canceling and he started doing it on me while we were playing. And it was one of the worst experiences I ever had. But like that's the level of like where I was like, damn, I have to beat these guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then one of the more like intricate spots that made me a competitive like fiend by nature was one time, right? We didn't get Guilty Gear Strive. We didn't get Guilty Gear at an arcade form in St. Louis, right? We weren't able to get it, right? Not the most recent one. And the most recent one was like XX at the time. But there was a spot out in Columbia, Missouri. And what ended up happening was we all like was like, hey, we're gonna go to Columbia. There's a group of guys out there that are playing also, and like they're really good. So let's go out there playing this tournament and have good games. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm just like this arrogant little shit, right? Like I'm talking mad shit, right? Bro, I'm talking so much shit, right? And one of the people, right, that I talk shit to, and he will know he knows this. His name is Aaron Harris, aka Ronin Sensei. He is now also working at Riot on 2XKO. So
Mm.
these two
Wow.
are my video game kind of like first senseis. These are two of them, right? Like along with
Wow.
like Slips, along with Kaminario Yaji, like, but they all represent like different games to me. So like even my representation of like knowing them. So I tell this guy Aaron Harris, right? I'm like, dude, I'm gonna beat your ass. You ain't nothing. I don't even know this dude, Brian. First time meeting this dude, can of paint, don't know nothing. He could have been a serial killer. Anything. I'm like, dude, I'm like, what character you play? Psh, bro, I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna beat your ass and yo. I'm like talking
Okay.
crazy smack. And this dude was like, okay. Right? Like the most smuggest. I'm like, this motherfucker, who do we think he is? And we get there, Brian. We get there, Brian. Do
Mm.
you know I got my ass worked?
Mm.
Oh my bro, when I tell you they rolled my
Ah.
ass up in a napkin, spit on it, put it in the gutter water, then threw it in the trash. I got destroyed. But what ended up happening was like we met like a lot of people, right? And we were playing like multiple games, right? So it wasn't only Guilty Gear, it was like Third Strike because I played a shit ton of Third Strike coming up. So I played Third Strike. I played their guys who were all like really good. They were really good, but I was pretty good too at the time. I wasn't ridiculous, but I was pretty good too at the time. And we all kind of like formed this pact after that day. But my pact after that, man, like I definitely was like embarrassingly bad. I was like, oh, this is never gonna happen again. Like I can't. This is never gonna happen again. And then
Okay.
I went back, I trained up, and I came back that next month because I found out there was a month. I came back that next month, and I think I got like third or second or something like that. And then like the guy
Mm.
that I was talking smack to, who I think actually won the tournament, and he just so happened once again to eventually become one of the people that taught me like really intricate like Guilty Gear and like Sean too. Actually, Sean was one of the people who played like everything. He played everything. So a lot of times when I would go learn about stuff, we were all hanging out at the homie's house, like at a homie Hatman house, and he'd be like, "Yo, Steve, what do you know about this game?" And he would come in very like on some smack talk, like, "Psh, what do you know about this game?" So I'm like, I don't know anything, Sean. He's like, well, let me tell you something about this game, right?
All
And he will
right.
always, no matter what the game, Brian, he could tell you some shit about the elevated, like higher fighting game part of whatever that he's talking to you about. And even if it wasn't a fighting game, even competitive card games, TCGs, he's like, yo, how do we win? And how do I beat people up? That's, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like the mentality that we've all come to know on my side of the fighting game community in like St. Louis. So
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like fighting game players have a knack for making anything possible competitive. I mean, like
yeah.
rock paper scissors becomes like life or death at a fighting game tournament, right? So I'm not surprised that that mentality seeped into other aspects of just gaming in general. But I love that story because it really speaks to how regional pride and just kind of that regional separation really in a weird way created really tight-knit communities because you didn't have the ability to play online at least any effective degree in that era,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like maybe netplay did exist, but it was terrible and delay based,
Yes.
and the internet was dial up and DSL whatever was available at the time. So like you literally had to get up, move to another region to try
Yep.
to challenge that region's players, kind of like an actual Pokemon gym. Like you had to go region to region, and you did not know how good or not they were, and so that let you
Mm-hmm.
like get cocky. Like
No, it
I feel like
did.
that's missing in this era because it's hard to be cocky when you can just log in right now and fight Evo champions every week in a tournament and get your ass beat. Like you know how good you are
Yep.
really
Yep.
quick now, which is good in
Mm-hmm.
some ways, but in other ways, like this story you just told, you have the ability to come in and be almost like a little cute to these guys, like, oh, this kid thinks he's good, like let's show him what's up for real. And then that was endearing enough to like kind of bring you under their wing and bring you
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
fold, and then you got to grow together. And I feel like that's a very unique experience for the earlier days of the FGC.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very character defining kind of thing because like I don't have any like actual like older brothers. Like I'm the oldest, and I have like
Mm,
some people on the side that like have known me personally. But when it comes to the side of like fighting games, those guys are like big brothers to me. Like that's why they're like all family to me to this day. When I go back, I try to hang out with them at every event. I try to hang out with them. Obviously, I live a very different life now, so I'm not as able to chill. But like I still keep in contact with those guys because like that's family to me forever. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is a big difference. I think that it's a lot more like one is disconnected on the side of going into these things that are like really socially like endemic to our community, which is not we don't really have as much as that anymore. But like also being able to go to something like an offline event, whether it be a major or not, and like be in that space with those people. So it's like I didn't realize how much it affected me personally until I saw like that video that Giuna them did about like the third space or whatever the case it was called, and saying that you do need those spaces, not that you need it to be as like kind of a workspace or a school space, and just being able to like socialize and be around people. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really
right.
get that much.
Yeah, I think that's been really missing in the American not just FGC, but like in the country as a whole. Like it's kind of a difficult place, difficult time to have those kind of spaces in general. There's a lot of factors going into that, especially post pandemic. It's been really tough. So it is definitely a struggle. I definitely feel a little sad, I want to say, for like the future generation of the FGC. There's so many pros to getting to the scene right now, with the accessibility, the net play. It's all amazing. There's so many more tools now and resources and ways to create
Yeah.
digital online communities. But there's definitely a trade-off in this era. And so like hearing your stories, I hope people can understand that like community building can be a really powerful thing, and that still persists going forward. And it also seems like in the story you're telling, that really inspired, from my view, your love not just for any one fighting game title as a whole, but of the genre, because you brought up like
Yeah,
6 different games in your
bro.
origin story. And like I mentioned in the intro here, you commentate a huge array of fighting games, and not just
Yeah.
like casually on the side. Like what's going on in these games, you partake in them, you've been playing them for years. How were you able to like play so many games and find your passion across so many titles? Because a lot of other players don't do that, like myself included. They tend to stay in one lane.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I always thought that was interesting because, like I said before, like we had like a 15, 20 person scene where I was coming from. So, like for us, like we had homies like that would play Melty Blood. And it was like, yo, Steve, what do you know about Melty Blood? I was like, I don't know shit about Melty Blood. I was like, well, we're gonna teach you about Melty Blood. And it happens like super organic like that. But also
Mm.
players like NKI, ST Legend, he is from St. Louis. I didn't even know at the time that that's who it was until later, but like I'm learning from those guys. I'm not just like, spouting it out of my ass. I'm telling you that like I learned this from people who I consider better than me. So it's like if you know that then you should already know that like, oh, I'm talking from experience with these guys and playing with these guys and knowing these other players. And like that happened across so many games. But a lot of people don't know that in Tekken Tag Tournament 1, that like St. Louis was a major like powerhouse in the states when it came to
Okay.
Tekken Tag Tournament. So Unconquerable was one of those players. SEO Bad Boys one of those players. Hatman one of those players. Like those guys, well, I was watching them play before I knew what was happening, Brian. Like I was like, damn, I am not this good. Like I'm literally at the mall. Like this was crazy because I'm watching them play. I'm like, I am not this good, but like I know that they are really good, you know? And then one day, oh man, I don't know if I've ever told this story, right? So one day, I was at the mall playing Tekken Tag 1. I was playing Tekken Tag 1 against this guy Hatman. He's like a June like specialist, like where we come from, bro. And one of the reasons, like when I look at that character, I just see like the bones of like his mentality, and just the fact that like I was playing in arcades with this guy for at least 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So like
Mm.
having like a different view of like the angle of people having like, oh, this character matchup or what this character can do. Like I've always had my ear to that because I was always a part of like so many different scenes. So I would learn by way. I'm like, yo, so what is this about? Like, how do I play this? And then I'll play it. And they'd be like, well, Steve, you got to look at it like this, or you need to try this. So that rotated across so many games. The same thing goes for Virtua Fighter. We had homies that played Mortal Kombat. We had like homies that played Smash Brothers. Of course, we had Tekken. We had the Guilty Gear guys. That was largely like just us and like the homie Aaron. So like they put that in me and they made it okay.
Mm.
Rick the Ruler. I know you know Brawl Pro, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
like, so Brawl Pro, like this is the thing. Me and Brawl Pro are from the same Tekken community in St. Louis. We are like in the same
Oh,
kindred blood
word.
thing.
I
So
didn't know
yeah, see, like people,
that.
yeah, see, people don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I remember when they bought Brawl Pro to the hookup. And they was like,
Mm.
everybody had the phone call. It was like, yo, bro. Rick was like, I'm bringing this dude over, bro. He's nice with it. I'm saying, I've been playing with him, Steve. He kind of good. I'm like, whatever. What character he plays? Like King. I'm like, nah, bro. He can't be that good. I play King. Come on, bro. Who is this Brawl
Oh.
Pro guy? You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, that's what it was. So I was
Yeah,
like,
you
bro,
step
this
into your
guy, whatever,
territory,
right?
man. With
Right?
your
And like,
character. Uh-oh.
and in our scene, in like the Tekken scene in St. Louis, like people will tell you, like it is smack talk central. Like if you know Sean, if you know Unconquerable right now, I've heard people coming from the offices of Riot, like, bro, this dude Sean talks so much smack. I'm like, that's St. Louis Sean. Like that's that it would be crazy if it was any other way because even when we were playing in the arcades, I've seen this guy playing like hundreds of games in the arcade with just raw discipline and just watching them learn. So like seeing new people come in like Brawl Pro and be like, hey, like how good is this guy? And he came in and he beat like a good chunk of everybody in that room. He beat like he didn't get like he didn't crack like the ones because we had like the really good players, but everybody else for the most part, I was like, oh shit, like this Brawl Pro kid is really good. And that's how I was kind of like ingested into the larger Tekken scene in St. Louis, and that's why me and him are like so close. Like he's just a homie to me, you know what I'm saying? So, but I've known him for that long, so I'm always good.
Wow.
It's always good to see him when I see him around because we come from the same lineage of like Tekken people, like especially in the later years. Not so much in the I met him before, maybe like what maybe 5 years before I left St. Louis, and I've been gone for like, at least 20 years now. So,
Wow.
but yeah.
That's awesome. I love that feeling of like bringing someone new into the meetup or the session or whatever. I definitely remember like the new kid showing up to our locals, and I remember when I was that new kid one time. When you get brought into the fold like that, it's not. I don't want to say hazing, but there's a bit of that like friendly shit talk that kind of like builds
Yeah.
that camaraderie because like they talk trash and then they teach you after how to improve. You know what I mean? Like there's like the upfront trash talk, and then the friendly, like, oh, here's what you do there. I remember one time, I'm beating up on some of the players my first time at the meetup, and they're like, oh, he's okay, like he's not bad. And then I lose to one of the regular players because I didn't know how to punish M. Bison's Ultra or Super in Street Fighter 4, right? You had to do the autocorrect Ultra with Balrog to go the other way. And they're like, oh, punish it with Ultra. And I'm like, I don't know how. Like, I'm freaking out on this setup. Like, I have no idea. Like, wow, this kid sucks. And I'm like, ah. And then after, they go, hey, man, here's how you do it. Like, they showed me literally, like, this is what you do to punish that. Get to the back of the line. Like,
not get back there and think about it.
Right. Yeah, and it's kind of like that friendly ribbing that kind of like it creates that bond, and you also learn from it as well. So that's I think a real like OG experience to have, to show up to the meetup like that and get kind of hazed a little bit but be brought into the fold. And it's always a good time to prove that you can hang a little bit, right? That's crazy that you knew two of the Riot devs. I didn't know Unconquerable, and who did you say the other person was?
Aaron Harris. He definitely comes out to the events. He was at Evo France because they have like a lot of the players out on the floor, so like he's definitely like, I feel like, look, if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, mentally, that guy's a secret boss, okay? So when you see him out there, give him a go. Play him in some games. Because once again, this is somebody that like my larger fighting game understanding comes from like playing games and like learning and like talking with him for like years. Also like a brother to me, So, and it's just, really cool to see that those guys put all that knowledge to work. Like it's endearing, like it's inspiring. I'm like, damn, those are the guys who I learned from, and they're like making like one of the craziest fighting games right now. Like this is crazy,
Yeah, they got to be some fighting game sickos to make 2XKO. That game is messed up.
Yeah.
that game is messed up, so I can see the DNA in it for sure. So all these stories, I'm kind of curious on the time frame. A lot of this is pre like 2009. I mean, I'm just trying to get the time marker down. Was there like a big transformation in your local community and the FGC that you saw as a whole with like the Street Fighter 4 release, the 09 era? Like, were you there to see that happen in real time?
Yes, actually. Dang, nobody ever actually. That's a very weird time, because that's around the time that like in that later time I moved to California. So I was there when like we had like a bunch of crazy Street Fighter 4 players. And that's when shout outs to Jeff Blyden, one of the homies, who's also a big fighting game guy in the Midwest, who was also like hosting like events and stuff at his house. And he was like crazy on the anime game. So he was the dude I looked at for my Tatsunoko versus Capcom stuff. That dude was crazy at Tatsukap. He was OD, my boy Jeff. You know what it is. But like, and the reason I bring him up is because he had a card shop that I think he was either part owner or manager or something, where he was like, yo, we're having like monthlies now. You guys can like come out. So like I was playing in those Street Fighter 4 tournaments with like my season 1 Zangief ass.
Okay.
But I say season 1, but damn, that's how long we've been playing, fighting games.
Seasons
but that
now,
first,
you're
right.
They didn't have those back then.
Right? They had to wait for a whole nother game back in my day. Yeah, anyways. But no, like I was there watching people make that like conversion, that transition to like Street Fighter 4. And like I said, we were heavy on like Third Strike and CBS 2. So like we're playing all these games, right? And like when that came, like I was like, oh man, this game sucks. This game is so ass.
Really?
Right? Bro, oh yeah,
wow.
bro, dude, look.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, look.
You're one of
first
those.
off, you gotta know, I hate that game, okay? I hate that game.
Still to this day?
I do. First off, look, I hate it, but I love it. Because I have a lot of respect for what Street Fighter 4 did. I'm not saying like it's an unplayable game. I'm saying comparatively to the Street Fighters that I know and love. I love Alpha 3. I love Third Strike. I'm one of those guys.
I never would have expected this from you, Steve. I'm not gonna lie. This is so surprising.
What? Well, I mean, look, you eat peas, so here we are, Ryan. We're learning something new about each other.
It's just, like you. I feel like one of your most known personality traits is like you bring the enthusiasm and joy to so many aspects of the fighting game community, right? Like that's something that's very on brand for Steve, right? Just that enthusiasm and bringing the energy and raising the vibe. And I guess you do it for the games that you truly do enjoy, because I've never heard you talk negatively about a game. Like, period.
Yeah, I just think that game is ass, and they love it.
You're doing it to the FGC darling child, to your Street Fighter 4.
They love this baby. They love that baby. Indestructible. They love that baby. I don't love that baby. I don't love that baby, okay? You can hang out. I'm not going to avoid taking a picture with you, but you're still ugly to me. But I'll just leave it. I'm just saying. But I was there for that. But this also comes by way of the fact that I am one of those old guard guys when it comes to Street Fighter. I'm used to, like, I'm looking at like ST player legends, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, first off, what is this, right? And I still like gave it a try. The thing is, I continued to play that game even though I did not like it. Thanks to Cody and C Viper, and I stayed true to that game. I started playing with El Forte first, but then I just started to hate that character, and then I moved on to like Geef, and then Viper, and then Cody, and then it kind of like balanced out, and that was the end of my Street Fighter 4. And towards the end of that, who one of my main training partners was my little brother and fellow commentator, Vicious. He was one of the persons that rounded out him and Sanchez too. Sanchez and Unconquerable, actually, because he had moved to California at the time, and he came to hang out at Paul and Mo's house. Shout outs to the house. You know what it is. We played Street Fighter 4 once again from 7 p.m. the day before to 7 a.m. the next day. Like, that's how much Street Fighter 4 I ingested. So
that's a lot of peas to eat. You know what I mean? For someone who doesn't quite like them.
That's bars.
Surprising.
That's bars. Okay.
Yeah, in that era, you really couldn't avoid it. I guess, a lot of people talked about the pre-09 era as kind of being, at least from the Capcom head perspective, like the dark ages of the FGC, right? Like, there was a period of time where there wasn't as many big titles coming in. But then Street Fighter 4 drops, and the numbers were through the roof. We're starting to see like the streaming era kick in, and then like towards the end, that's when the formation of like esports in the scene really became a thing. So during this time, Street Fighter 4 is not your main game, or not the game you love. Are you playing more Tekken? Like, what are you actually enjoying in the FGC during that like 09 to like 2013 era?
Third Strike, Virtua Fighter, Guilty Gear. Yeah, those and Tekken.
Okay.
Because even though it was like kind of in between Tekkens at the time, like I think we were still playing 5. I can't remember. Am I tripping? Or maybe it was 6. I can't remember. But it wasn't like it was crazy. But on the same note, it was like we would have like these hookups, right? And our hookups like would be thrown by like shout outs to my big brother Diedrich. He housing 12 people in his house, right? So like we in there playing Tekken on the main screen, but then we got other setups where we're running like Third Strike, and we're running like Virtua Fighter, and we're running like Melty Blood, or we're running like Big Bang Beat or something like that. Like a lot of like it was so many games that like our friends would introduce, and we would just give them all a try. And I'm like, oh, if we liked them, then we would keep playing them, but if we didn't like them, then they'll kind of go by the wayside, right? So it's like. But the thing is that we never stopped. Nobody ever stopped playing whatever game. Even if I was like, "Oh, Street Fighter 4 is ass," they would have a hookup, and I'd be like, "I'm down to play Street Fighter 4." Like I wasn't gonna be like, "Oh man, I can't believe you guys are playing Street Fighter 4." I'm like, "No way!" Like we'll be like, "Damn, bro, y'all playing 4, huh? Let me get in there. Let me put my quarter up." You know, because for me, it wasn't like I said before, it wasn't my cup of tea, right? It wasn't 100% my cup of tea. I'm just saying that for me, comparatively, I mean, I like 6 even more so. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where I like 5 even more so. I say that's just me.
That's a brave thing to say. I was going to bring it up
with my whole chest.
I know you had a little bit of a Nash. I know like you. I know you played 5 pretty heavy. So like hearing you say you don't like 4, I was like, wait, that means he likes 5 better than 4. Like that was going through my head, which is like a crazy thing to admit. You have to understand. Yeah. Like you're not allowed to have that opinion.
I mean, look, we here, baby. We here, you know?
Wow.
Just me and you, Brian. Nobody else is going to know this. Who else is going to know?
Hey, I love 4, but I also, I like some 5, man. People
I know you do. I know you do, Brian. I know you like you some 5.
Yeah, 5
right?
Game,
I know
man.
you do. I was in those streams. You don't think I remember? I was in those streams, bro. Anyway.
Good times. How about this? I do want to get your reaction to something. I'm going to show you a clip, Steve. So I'm going to show you a clip, and I want you to just describe what's going on in this clip. So
you want me to describe what's happening in the clip?
Yeah, just give me your thoughts, get your reaction, and let us know what's going on here. So what's
Yeah,
going on here,
Brian, like
Steve?
that. Yeah, Brian, like that.
What are we looking at here, Steve?
You are looking at me. I can't even remember. This is probably my first convention. This is like there go my bro Diedrich. Oh my
Oh,
god,
Diedrich's in the clip?
PJ, yeah, PJ, Jody.
Okay.
There's the guy Rob that I was just talking about. There's that dude. He was like, "Yo, Steve, take a picture with him," because I love the Power Rangers, right?
Mhm.
And of course, the Green Ranger and the White Ranger. I had never seen anybody cosplay before, Brian. This was my first. I was so hyped. I was like, "This dude got the whole outfit." This was my first time, bro. That's not crazy. Just imagine you saw somebody do this for the first time, and we were just leaving a tournament. Guess what we were playing, Brian? Street Fighter 4.
I had to assume, right? Like, for some reason, this was posted 2010, and the titles are crazy back then. Like, this clip, there's multiple uploads of this, and I think I even saw this on World Star back in the day.
Yeah.
This has 500,000 views. The titles, there's a couple of versions of them. They're all crazy. You guys are clearly at a convention. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And they even said here it's an anime convention in St. Louis. And going back to this, I was surprised to see the arcade sticks and everything too. I was like, oh shit, like these guys are playing fighting games. Like I knew you were in the clip. And it's one of those things where like I saw this clip and then years later I saw it again and I was like, wait, that's Steve. Like I didn't know that was you at the time. But it's crazy to say that that's the first time you've seen someone cosplay, because that's so normal now at tournaments.
Yeah, I've cosplayed at tournaments. I've done it now.
Weren't you just cosplaying last Evo? Like, who were you? You were was it from Guilty Gear, right? Name something on my mind. Venom. Yeah, that was
from
baller.
Guilty Gear. Yeah, it was sick. Like I said before, this is also a big change, right? Like, obviously I could have done cosplay, but the cosplay that I did was from like Japan, bro. Like that's not even something that I can recreate. But this is literally, these are two ends of the same spectrum that you just reminded me of right here. That was my first time seeing cosplay.
Wow, so you saw like a Power Ranger in real life, and
you
didn't have the context of people cosplaying. Because like today, that would be like, oh, cool, the Power Ranger. Like, I love the Power Rangers, but it's not as mind blowing. Like you literally see the real Ranger.
Yeah, right. That's what happened. You guys saw that implosion of like neurons. Like, oh my god, he's right here. Like,
wow, interesting.
Oh man,
did you see like this clip going viral at the time? Like what was going on internet wise? Did this make it back to you? Like, did any of your friends see this?
So it definitely does like the internet rounds every now and then, and it's funny. One of the first times someone recognized me was from that video. I was eating ramen somewhere with my friends, and like, are you that guy from White Ranger in the Ghetto?
With the title and everything? Yeah, the titles are crazy.
The whole government title is what.
I can't believe the titles. Yeah, the other one was like, it's White Power Ranger in the Ghetto, White Power Ranger in the Hood. I'm like, these titles are so like 2010. Like, I'm like, this would not fly today. Like, they're obviously on some crazy shit. Like, this is clearly an anime convention. Relax. But,
oh my god,
it was a thing.
But yeah,
back then.
It was definitely a thing. Like, after it got out and like people started saying, "It's like, Steve, is this you on the internet freaking out?" I'm like, yeah, man, that's me. It was my first time seeing it, and they're like, no, I get it. I can see how that was. They was like, and then my family saw it, and they're like, of course, they was like, this is Steve would definitely react this way. Like, this is to them, it's normal, and everybody else, like my friends, all of them who know me, they're like, that's just Steve, bro. That's just how he acts. So
yeah, for sure. And the thing about that is, I feel like that's almost like your origin in a weird way, because like that's kind of what you do now. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
that enthusiasm and energy is your job right now.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe it, but yeah, man. And it's just because it's stuff that like I feel like that I would be doing anyway. Like, even if I had to be doing something else, which has always been the case. Like, even when I was in school, when I was in college and going back and forth, I was like, oh, like I still am going to be paying attention to this. Even when, I was just reading magazines, looking at like, Justin Wong and Flo and and the Mike Ross. I'm seeing these guys' names in the back of a magazine before I ever met them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So for me, it goes a very, very. I mean, I told Rip this, and Rip knows this. First time I saw Rip, I was literally in my dad's like attic watching him like commentate at like an MLG, and I was talking
Mm.
shit about how I thought I would beat his law. I was like, bro, I beat this guy. This dude ain't nothing.
Okay.
Man, he beat my ass. But also, I didn't know at the time that like that was somebody that like kind of inspired me too. So it's like all of my beginnings go back to my exposure to fighting games via the Midwest, right? And then only years later did I like once I moved out there, then I started to meet all these people that like I used to see at events, right? Like I had seen Flo like at Midwest Championship quite a few times because he's around from like Illinois area, so maybe 4 hours from me. So I would go to all the Chicago if there was a Chicago FGC thing and all our friends were there. I actually went up there and played like the Virtua Fighter people because once I started playing, I dove in deep to Virtua. Like I still have the book in my closet right now that I had from Virtua Fighter 4 just to like understand the game. So what we did was we took a drive up. I played all those guys, and that's what we would do. We'd be like, "Nah, man." I'm like, "I don't care, man. I'll run it with anybody. Who want to play? You want? I got games. What game we want to play? We want to play blah blah blah." Turns out I got a blah blah blah. Like I always kind of like fed around that. So it's like seeing how I'm attached to a bunch of different games, but by way of just even also meeting a lot of these other people that are really into it, like the entire Tekken scene, you know what I'm saying, that I met, and then like meeting Alex Valle, you know what I'm saying, and like Watson and all these like people in the arcade, like the Blar lads and like so many people, man. Like it was so many times the Ciens and I have like it's so crazy that like I ran into so many of these people like in the arcade and then some of them even more so by way of like just reading and watching them play and meeting and knowing Justin Wong, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I used to see this dude at events all the time, but I didn't know this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I wasn't gonna walk up to him and just talk to him either. But also like later on we saw each other and then we played each other. Me and him entered a tournament in Guilty Gear and we played in Midwest Championships. And I just met so many people by way of the community that now I still know. So like even though I met these people, because I've been traveling playing video games competitively since I was like 15, 16 years old, right? So all those final rounds, the seasons beatings, and if they've been there, chances are I was at that same event and we just didn't know each other. So
Right.
for me, it's crazy that this is still a thing that happens, and like those people are still around. So it makes a place for me too. So
That's awesome. I mean, the FGC is generational now.
yes, it is
Yeah,
very much so.
You
Very
started when
much
you're
so.
15, 16. There's 15, 16, 14-year-old kids winning championships now. It's still going, which is awesome to see. Actually, what do you think about that? Just recently, Daigo had a little moment talking about Hanao winning in Chengdu the championship there, qualifying for Capcom Cup, 14 years old. He made a comment about how this might be the last time we have one of the old guard, like one of the OGs of the competitive forefront with like Daigo, Sako, Itabashi, Tokido, right? They really started in the beginning when the international competitive scene formed. And now the new guard, like the 14-year-old kids winning right now while they're still playing. And he said this might be the last time we see that because come Street Fighter 7, are they going to be playing when they're 50 years old? And then, we saw recently on Twitter, Ryan Hart talking about that, reflecting back on, as time goes on, it's hard to split your attention and keep up. What do you think about that? Because you're here, you've been around for a long time and you've been doing commentary for a while now and one of the best in the business. What are your thoughts about that? Like going into the future and spanning so many generations, like, do you think, how many years left do you have in you to have that enthusiasm and make it feel genuine for the FGC?
It's crazy to me because I always think about like, man, I remember when I was like, oh man, I'm probably done, right? I remember when I had that thought, Brian. It was at Evo. It was at Evo. And when they showed the new Guilty Gear, right? It was just a single tear. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be here forever. Like that's when I was like, if they can come out with something that gets me enthused, I will be there because I will want to talk about it, right? Because I'm naturally gonna want to know about it anyway. Now, whether I do that on a professional, like on the front facing camera side or behind the camera side or wherever the pivot goes, the thing is like this is one of my true passions. Like, and I think
Mm.
that's really where it comes from. Like, if I already committed to the idea. I'm like, even when I'm in, a nursing home, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we don't need one. But, you know what I'm saying? Even when I'm old and grayer and I'm not doing anything and I'm sitting in the video game retirement home with Justin Wong and Yipes and all the boys, I'm still gonna be hitting buttons. As long as my
Oh yeah.
digits can digit, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be hitting buttons. I'm not like I play to like beat people up. I'm not playing to be like, oh man, that's cute. Like, no, I'm actually trying to throw hands. Like, I'm not doing it for the cuteness, you know what I'm
Of
saying? Like I,
course.
I remember like Rip would always make this joke because we would play and do like the crowd work and you work with people and then you play and then they're like, yo, don't put Steve up there, bro. That dude is like a menace. He does not take it easy. I'm not taking it easy. Nobody gets a free
Of
pass. I am
course.
trying. Okay.
Of course. And even when you get your ass beat, it's like tis but a flesh wound, it's 0
Yeah,
and
tis
30,
but a
like
scratch. But a
keep
scratch.
going, right? Like that's I think you got to have that attitude a little bit. Like even when you're cooking or you're getting cooked, like you got to have a little bit of that attitude in you to make it fun.
You do.
Otherwise, it's like what's the point? You got to have a little bit of that drive, I feel like, to make
And
it engaging.
100% agree. And just to circle back on it, I know I got a little bit off tilt when it comes to the old guard and the new guard and the new kids. When I came into this, I feel like in a sports nature, you want to root for the underdog. And I think that comes from by way of nature of wanting to see the rise of someone or something get there. Fighting games are unique in the fact that like you can latch onto a player and see their
Mhm.
whole growth through a game's lifespan. So for me, it's always been about the underdog. I've always wanted to see that new player come in and win, but that also means I still want to see them win with my legends, the people that I really think that are really good. So, and in all
Right.
honesty, logically, I just want to see the best of the best. If the best is the old, then yo, the old still gonna be there. And I really don't think we gonna see somebody like Tokido not. And I could be wrong. And I hope I hope the case is that we get Tokido just the same where he's like, bro, I'm just playing fighting games. And I know Daigo has said this before, but like as long as Daigo is hitting buttons, like I'm okay with that. That is all is right in the world in that case. But also making a way for the new school, the new players, the next challengers, the next legacy of players across all games should be super important because for me I've always seen fighting games to be this thing that's supposed to be in an arena with sports spectacle and like the firework. I want all of that. I think
Right.
that's what fighting games are, and I think the only way that continues to happen is if we get these players that comes from every region all around the world, because it's happening all around the world. We're seeing players come up. I mean that young player Nea from France that came and did crazy well at Evo France. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like there's so many different players out there that are coming up. I will kill you from Trinidad. Like these
Oh yeah.
players,
He's been doing
they're
good.
like coming from like everywhere. And like that to me is like the coolest thing ever. I feel like I want to be that live reporter that goes around and be like, bro, we're on a different planet and we just found our first fighting game player. Get over here, blurp, blurp, bleep, bloop. Like I would be down for that. I want us to go that far. I just want it to be as big as it can because that's how I see it. Like I see it as this big spectacle as it should be treated. They're not like NASCAR drivers, they're not like basketball players. Like they train the mind and then you have to train that in reaction to what your body needs to do with a screen realization and then you're monitoring 5 different meters in the whole not like I don't think
Right.
people think about how much goes into playing a fighting game at a high level. And this takes nothing away from any other game. So it just says to me that if we have like all these huge games out there, you know what I'm saying, that is already doing this, the Fortnites. I mean, even like League is already doing it. We should have these same kind of grand spectacle stages. And I think the more legacy we have, the better. So that legacy means having an old guard and having a new guard because you don't want it not to change because if it never changes, then there's no growth. So it has to be this way. And personally, I say bring them on, man. It makes me root more. It makes me root more for my players. Like I want those players who I really do want to win. And sometimes it's the young guy, sometimes it's the old guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it works.
Absolutely. And I think we're in uncharted territory here because we have kind of like the oldest generation of competitive gamers. And you look at other gaming genres, like look at chess. Chess
Yep.
has like multiple generations of players competing at the highest level. I mean, there's grandmasters that are like what 13, 12 years old, right? Like the tournaments are won by children all the time. But at the same time, you still have legacy players in their 40s or in their 50s competing at a really high level as well. And so to me, I feel like the big change right now is like the tools available. There's a bit of the on the game design, I think, also, but just like I always believe in the plasticity of the young brain. Like getting started young is such a cheat code, and most of the great fighting game players of today that are still competing at an old age started dominating when they were 15, 14 also. Like look at Justin Wong, Tokido Daiko, all of them were great.
Xiao Hai, all of those guys.
Xiao Hai was amazing winning tournaments at 9 years old, right? They're all great when they're young. I think that's the ultimate cheat code is starting young. And I think right now we're definitely seeing the success of fighting games again, getting that attention to a younger audience, and then they give them a couple of years when they're 12 to 14. Yeah, they're going to be godlike. Like their brains are sponges. It's absorbing everything. So I think it's overall a great sign for the scene. But who knows? Like I do think the reactions and your reflexes matter a lot for fighting games, of course.
True.
But I think it's a little overblown. A little overblown. How much your age causes that to decrease as you get older. It's a lot more like situational awareness. So I do think maybe like 60 is pushing it. But like,
right? You know what?
Who knows? True. Who knows? We're going to see someone in their 50s win a tournament. It's not impossible. It's not likely.
It's not impossible.
But it's not impossible.
Listen, there are salarymen. I've seen it with my own eyes, Brian. I've seen it. Go to an arcade. The salarymen Virtua Fighter players, bro, they will smoke you. They will smoke you. And then laugh about it.
Sure.
I've seen it with my own eyes. So it's like, for me, I don't think that it's something that can't happen. I think it's only a matter of time. And I'm completely right there with you. Yeah, don't get me wrong, reaction this, reaction that. Yeah, but I think it's more about your awareness more than anything. You know what I'm saying? There's still the margin of error. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's what thriving in fighting games is, because there's no other thing out there like a fighting game where like each blow, each whiff matters. You know what I'm saying? Where you're monitoring that much for that long. Oh, man, it just, I don't know. It just does something to me, man. Fighting games,
They're good. And apparently used to be pretty good at them. I went through some of your Liquipedia results. You know, they don't go all the way back, but I was actually kind of intrigued to see some of your old results that did get recorded on Liquipedia. You got like a nice little third place in NorCal 2013 in Tekken Tag 2. Yeah. Nice little top 8 for Guilty Gear Plus R SoCal Regionals. Like,
oh dang, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you were putting up some numbers back in the day, and that's not even that far back in my mind. Like 2013, that's not that long ago. Only 12 years ago. No big deal. But like, what was that competitive era like for you, and how did that start to transition to you getting on the mic a little bit more? I'm kind of curious about that era.
So what ended up happening was, for me, it was more like I said, I was competing in like multiple games. I wasn't competing only in just one game. So for me, it was just like whatever I liked, I would try to play. A lot of people would say that was my fault, but like, yeah, that's kind of just how it worked. But what ended up happening was, is like, I moved to the West Coast in that time frame, right towards the end, and I'm going to like the arcade now, and I'm seeing like how really, really good like these players are with my own eyes. I'm like, oh damn, they're like really good. And even like now, to like kind of like expand upon that, like I've been to other places that kind of have that old feel, how it felt when I was here. When I was over in Pakistan and I went to their like local gaming spot, like it's sweaty in there. Like but it's like the best kind of sweaty. Like every setup like was a killer. Like it was, Brian, it's crazy. But I've also felt the same way like over in Japan, right? Like going over to Mikado and going to play Guilty Gear, you know what I'm saying? And like all the gods are in there. They in there playing, you know what I'm saying? But like those kind of things, it's really kind of organic. It's super organic, but like you don't get that from just one spot. You got to go see it in all these places. So when I went to like California and I went to Super Arcade for the first time, I was like, oh, this is like holy ground. Like, I don't even think people know how important that this place is. Like, and I'm just walking in and seeing like all these people playing like a bunch of different games, right? And what ended up happening was like, I'm still there as like a sponge, like watching and learning and listening. Like, even to the point, right? Like, so I wanted to like, I was doing like Tekken commentary for like Electric Wing Godfist Fridays, like a little like early on, probably like one of the first things, right? with like me and Eris, and we were like talking shit for like hours. And what ended up happening was I was like, and I don't know how many people know this. I told a couple people this. I remember I was like, yo, man, I mean, I played like a shit ton of Street Fighter 4. Like, I would love to like commentate like some Street Fighter 4, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I went to like ask Valle, right? I was like, yo, Valle, bro, look, I'm kind of nice on the mic. And on top of that, like, nobody didn't really know how much I played Street Fighter. Like, they don't know how much I play Street Fighter. So, like, he would just like, he looked at me, he was like, I think you're good, but you should probably wait till Street Fighter 5. Wait till Street Fighter 5. 'Cause you will have it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I would, like I said, I didn't like get mad at it. I was just like, no, he's right, man. Like, if somebody who like has been playing these games for years can't listen to me or can't stand to hear, whatever the case may be, or feels like I'm not there yet, then I'm gonna take that advice and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to fix it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it wasn't like a matter of like, oh, well, I just want to get on the mic. It was more like, hey, man, like, I like talking about the game, one. And this is after I've already I kind of got a voice for it. And I know the do's and don'ts. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to like get a feel for it. So I'm like, so I could easily talk about this game. I played it enough. Like, I have enough experience. And like I said, the first time he was like, nah, no deal. Sit down, kid, And afterwards, that's when, when the Marvels came out and stuff like that. Cause like I was playing with I was playing a lot of Marvel. I was playing with Renge, and Renge would come over and beat me up, like everybody, bro. Shout outs to Killer Kai. That boy would come over, Clockwork. They would come over and just smack me around. Even Kane Blue River was there for a while. I played this dude so many games in Marvel. And I think that's the year he went and like won Marvel. That was the year he went and won Marvel. Right? Dog, when I tell you, I think I played him. He'll probably remember the number better than I think I played him 115 games of Marvel 3.
Wow.
Like straight. You know how many games I won?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to...
One. Okay. I won one game, Brian.
I didn't know
one game.
I was going to drop a 0 on there. And I was like, man,
damn!
let me like, or maybe a generous 20. I was like, I don't know, man.
No. But look, he smacked me around. I mean, look, I know I wasn't that sharp. My team was ass, and my execution is nice. My execution is pretty good, but like, the shit that I was trying to do was so hard. I was playing Deadpool, Dante, Spider-Man, and it was like I had a whole thing. It was
and you're just tickling his whole team.
Exactly.
Oh, no,
exactly. You see what I'm saying?
You see what I went through? Dude. You probably drop one combo and it's over every time.
Yes, 100% of the time.
And no one knew what he was doing at that era. Like,
no
one was ready for KBR back then. So yeah. You like that doesn't, you going 1 for 150 against KPR at that time doesn't speak to how nice you were or not at MVC3. No one was ready.
Oh man, but yeah, so it's like all those kind of like interactions came by way of me moving when I moved to like the West Coast. But like, even being in that space, like I got to see just like how robust it is. That like me moving to California, the West Coast, definitely kind of like ignited that spark. I'm like, I want to see like these other gaming cultures too. I want to see how they exist, how they get down. Like, I want to see where they live. And it really did. They kind of go hand in hand to what's happening right now. So
awesome. Yeah, it was an interesting time seeing like WNF grow and sort of like this hybrid zone where like you were competing for a while hopping on these commentary gigs, or I don't know why I would call them gigs at the time. It's almost like if you were there at WNF or whatever the weekly was or whatever regional, like there were gigs, but it wasn't as formal, I would say, as it is today, or established as being like a consistent job or career rather. So it was interesting. There was one specific tournament I remember you were commentating and playing in, and I do have a clip here. So I got another clip here. So I'll give me a second here. I'll go ahead and share my screen, and you can
my man hit me with the "This is your life."
Let's see if you can tell the people a little bit about what's going on in this clip.
Oh my god! Yeah, see, this is what was this? Oh my god! Versus Tekken Tim. Oh, dude. So this was at the Iron Fist, the Iron Fist finals before it was the Tekken World Tour, right? And they had so many spots to where you could play in. So it was like 8 tournaments. It was like 8 tournaments or something crazy in one day. So we had to keep entering. And if you wanted to get a spot to the finals, right? So I'm commentating and playing, right? And when I tell you I lost, and it was the most, I was literally so tight. And I had to sit back with Eris, and Eris was like, "Oh, I'm about to rib the shit out of Steve." So when I tell you, he was just like, "Yeah, Steve, oh, you're mad right now." And I've known Eris for a long time at this point. So he knows my attitude and my energy enough to where he's just feeding off of it and be like, "Damn, Steve, how you doing right now? Look at his face. Oh my God, look at that shitty grin. I can't stand it. I can't stand it." And then he does that dumbass laugh. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Look at, bro. I don't even think I had gum in my mouth. I was chewing. I was chewing the hate. I was chewing hate right there. Oh my God.
It's such a classic clip. I think the thing about this clip that, this got a lot of views, and I remember seeing this too when it was circulating. For one, I mean, Eris obviously, like, he wants to make people pissed. Like, that's like his whole humor, right? So that's funny on its own. But seeing you be like legitimately tight about like a tournament set, like, it's so rare to see Tasty Steve salty. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a rare thing. And then to have that moment of salty Tasty Steve paired with Eris, like, oh shit, I got salty Tasty Steve right next to me. What a dream come true. It's such a rare moment to witness in fighting game history.
For me, like, I tell people all the time. That's why, like, when I do interviews and stuff, right? Some people will tell you, like, "Bro, get in there and interview the player after they lose." I'm like, "Don't interview that guy. What are you talking about? That's crazy. You just stubbed your toe. How do you feel? And I need an interview. How do you feel right now? The current economic. What do you feel right now? You know, like, that's the craziest thing to ask somebody. So one, I know personally how that feels, and two, man, that just lets me know how long, bro. Like, that right there, that happening. When I remembered him doing it, I was completely conscious. I was like, he is definitely about to make fun of me. He's about to get me right now. Oh God, like, you're being hunted through the woods. I'm like, oh crap. She's right behind me, isn't she? No, like, that's literally what it was. So,
man, like, you're salty and you can't hide it. Like,
yeah, I'm like, damn, I am so tight that I'm tight. Like, I can't do anything about it.
That's a great way to put it. So tight that I'm tight. Like, I'm upset that I'm upset right now, and then you're gonna make me upset about being upset.
Oh,
it's too many layers to it. But I think that's great that I think that's so important that. And it shows, like, even though, like I said, your brand and like the energy you bring is always like really positive and outgoing, you're still a competitor. Like, you still been through, and you everyone gets salty. Like there's some superhumans out there, I suppose, who don't, and God bless you. Like, you are better than all of us. But like everyone, if you play fighting games, like, you're gonna get salty. You're gonna care about the tournament performances, and if you don't care at all, I think there's something wrong. Actually, that to me means like, you're not in it. Like, something's
no
not
skin
in
the game. No skin in the game. Like,
exactly.
if you don't, like, you have to be able to at least understand one of the two players, right? Like, you have to understand one of the two. And in some ways, and if you follow that player, you're going to know what it feels like, the defeat and the victories. You're going to know both of them. So that's just how it goes. There's no way, shape around it. Everybody's going to get it comes with the territory. So
absolutely. Yeah. I think that's really important that it shows your authenticity. I think, like, you've lived it, you breathe it, like, you've been a competitor, and even in this hybrid era where, like, you're playing in 7 tournaments in one day to try to qualify, and then getting right back on the mic, which is like, it's the beginning of esports. Like, when's the last time in an esports level event has the commentator got up from losing, walked 2 feet over, and sat down to commentate while salty about their loss right away? Like, that doesn't exist anymore.
Know. He's so right. They would never let that happen. I mean, not in an official capacity. They would not let that happen. So, no, man, you're 100% right. That's how you know the times have changed. Now, like, it's just too much. Like, the last Evo I entered, I had to DQ myself. Like, I was playing really good. I was feeling myself. I think they put me on stream. I was like, oh, we're good. We're cooking today. And it's like, all right, Steve, do or don't time.
Yeah.
Do continue playing, and you don't commentate. You commentate and don't continue playing. Those are your only choices, And I was like, oh, dude, and like, some events, they were cool. Like, I remember CEO I entered and I did pretty well, and I was like, hey man, I think I was only made like top 16 or something. I think it was like Guilty Gear or something like that. And Jabali came up to me and he was just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, you made like top 16, like, you gotta like commentate too. I was like, oh, What do I do? He's like, I'll go play. It's fine. I guess he did one of those. So, but no, I mean, personally, I like being in the trenches. I like hitting buttons. All the people that tell you that are on my friends list, you'll see me boot up and hit like crazy grind hours on games because I'm just doing late night work stuff. I mean, just recently I was playing like crazy night hours of like 2xKO just to get the feel for it and like how it
Mm.
feels. And I haven't actually played duos yet. I've only played like single stuff. So for me, looking at it, I'm
Oh
like
wow.
learning on the fly. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a lot. But still, I think that's what really interests me because I like learning how to succeed in all these fighting games, whether it's new, old, you know what I'm saying? So them changing anything or it being not the same as something else don't really bother me. I like to try to understand the puzzle. So
That's good, and I think that's super important for a legacy commentator like yourself, right? Like you gotta
mm.
stay sharp, man. You gotta stay fresh.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's so critical, I think, for commentators who, especially who have been doing it for a while, to keep up to date with what's going on. Because I think people can like smell that from far away. You know what I mean? Like if you start
Yeah,
to
you
slip a
definitely
little
can.
bit and
Yeah.
like you're kind of coasting on your past game knowledge, people pick up on that.
They
So
definitely definitely
it's good
will
that you're
tell
still
you.
in there, you know, like you're still competing, you're still playing. Like that genuine interaction with the game, I think is critical, and I think it shows through like when you are on the stage and commentating everything. It really shows. So I think that's a huge strength of yours, is that like you still love it. You know.
Yeah, I love it, man. I like playing fighting games, man. And like thank you. Like in all honesty, like I like seeing and like playing with you guys to some degree, right? Like I remember like running into you randomly like online and stuff like that, right? Like I like stuff like that because people like, man, I think I was playing Steve. I'm like, no, that was me. Like GG's, you know. I like
Right.
having a hands on something rather than, not. And if I don't like it, I'm probably just not even gonna put anything towards it. And that's
Right.
typically why you don't see me talk about stuff that I don't like because it's like no point in me putting energy towards it if I don't like it. I was like, but I do really like this Tekken 8. I do really like this Street Fighter 6. I do really like
Right.
this, whatever the case.
Okay.
And it shows when because those are the things that I'm trying to like maintain in. Like even now, bro, I'm over here hardcore on this Viper, going crazy on Viper.
Ooh, she's fun. She's fun.
She's very fun. She's very fun. She's very fun. So it's all about, like you said, keeping up with it. And in all honesty, as long as that continues to happen, as long as they keep making interesting fighting games, bro, I'm gonna keep trying to play them. That's just how it works.
Definitely, that's great to hear. And they made a lot of interesting fighting games in this era where like you kind of went into being a really prominent figure in the commentary
Mm.
of the fighting game community. Like I know there was Tekken 7. There was
Yep.
Street Fighter 5, especially that I think that's with like the Wizard World gaming tournaments. It was you and Sajam all over the place
Yep.
suddenly. I feel like that's kind of when, from my perspective, on the outside looking in, like you became like a professional commentator, right? Like the 2016 era. And there was a lot of money
Mhm.
circulating the scene also to support that at the time. It was a very different time in the FGC. Do you feel like that's for yourself when you became like, oh, I'm a commentator, like this is my job now, this is what I do? Was that around that era, or did you ever even have that thought? Like I'm kind of curious of your own perspective of when this became your career.
So, oh man, you are putting dates to things that I typically don't put dates to. But so around 2015, 2016, yeah, I think that's around the time I actually quit my 9 to 5 job. So I had a 9 to 5 where I was like a manager at an arcade and round one. And while I was there, like I met so many people, right? And some people knew, you know what I'm saying? Like they like kind of knew that I was going to like fighting game events and stuff like that and playing in them and like commentating them. And that's when Wizard World kind of like popped up and it was like an offer on the table for me to potentially do it and do it full time. But like the thing is that I couldn't do both. Like there was no way because what
Right.
my schedule typically was that like man, it's gonna sound crazy. I made the schedule because I was a manager. I was making the schedule. So I would never take days off. Don't laugh at me, Brian. I would never take days
Okay.
off
Okay.
unless there was an event, right? Like a big event that I really wanted to go to. And then I'd ask for one day off and probably either get the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, be back in California Monday of my own accord, mind you, because they're not I'm paying out of my own pocket, right? To get to from the event, wherever state it may be, back to California to open up the arcade at 10 a.m. So I had to be there at 9:30. For
Right.
years I did that
Mm.
to like try to make it happen, right? And then like I was like, all right, bro, you like there's no way you can do both. It's not possible. So I had to make that. Well, I didn't have to, but I made the decision to quit my job at the time and just pursue it full time. And fortunately enough, that whole multi-game thing really helped out because I feel like if you're just doing single game like commentary, like that's impossible. Like it's
Right.
way too fickle. It's not sustainable. But me having like the added ability of being like, oh, I actually can talk about these games and I play these games too. So if it's around, you know what I'm saying, and you don't have a better choice, I'm definitely down. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those
Right.
guys. You know?
Right.
But that's kind of like what happened. And once I went over to the whole Wizard World side of it, that's when like the circuit thing kind of started to pick up and traveling a little more for like King of Iron Fist tournament stuff like that. And keep it in mind, you still not like it's like zero at that point. It's like you coming out of your pocket to like sit there, right? And that's and I've never really thought about it, but that was the translation from the scene of like being a competitor to like being like a production commentator person. Is that like a lot of times, and this is just like shout outs to Spooky and all these other like people who was like traveling with their own stuff that they paid for out of their own pocket to like get there to do it for free and then leave.
Crazy.
Peace.
Crazy.
That's madness.
Yeah.
Madness. So y'all know who y'all are, man. Shout outs to the TOs and everybody else who ever did that. But yeah, man, like that's what was kind of happening, but on a professional side. So I was like, man, I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what's the worst that can happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it don't work, then you out on your ass and you probably got to, go back to St. Louis. But, you like fighting games. But I will say, though, and I got to say, my auntie Cynthia, special shout outs, James,
Okay.
Chin, and David, because there was a time where I came to them and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think I should do this. This is pretty risky, and I had it on the table. I was, fiddling around with the idea. And I was like, well, I don't know. And I talked to my auntie at a final round, one of the last final rounds, because she lives in Atlanta. And I was like, I got an opportunity, auntie, to do this full time. And and this is after her walking around with a day for me back in like final round. And she was like, yo, Steve, these people, they rock with you. Like, I was like, damn, for real? She was like, yeah, they rock with you. She's like, you ain't gonna fail because they ain't gonna want you to fail and you ain't gonna let them down. I was like, oh, snap. And James and David were there to kind of like pad it too. So,
wow, okay.
And with that, that's when I took the leap. That's right, bro. That was the leap.
Shout out to Auntie Cynthia. We got
yeah,
Tasty
bro.
Steve.
Yeah,
Because
right.
Auntie Cynthia. That's an amazing thing to hear.
So, yeah. And here we are now. I'm talking to Brian F., the legend, on this Trash Talk podcast. Bro. It's been a minute, bro.
I'm here because of people like you. Yeah, you're the voice of a generation, man. Keeping the hype alive, keeping people inspired to show up and play and see the beauty of fighting games at that scale, man. Like that's your work right there. It gets people inspired.
I genuinely appreciate that, man. Because like I said, man, I just want what we do to look good. I want people to see it how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Understand it from an avenue of somebody who appreciates it like you and I. So, I appreciate it, bro.
You definitely do appreciate it. Because I got one more clip.
Oh,
one more clip to show just how much Steve really appreciates fighting games and the level that they bring. So I think this one's short and sweet. I think a lot of people might recognize this one. So here, let me share real quick.
Oh, yeah, we're going.
We're going?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember this.
So what's going on? What is the lore behind this clip? The audio might be reminiscent to some people.
No.
Steve, my arm. What's going on here?
So look, this is the greatest. Obviously, when I get hyped, bro, I get really, really excited when I'm watching certain games, especially So first off, people don't know this, that I love Dragon Ball. So Dragon Ball Fighters is like one of my dreams. It's like one of my dream things. Like I would never think that we'd get a game like Dragon Ball Fighters. So I just genuinely love Dragon Ball Fighters. But first off, like the pace that you have to play at, Finrich being like one of the most consistent players, and on top of that, me and Sejan, we definitely don't get to like talk like that. We don't get to go off like that. And this is just one of those times. Like I think this is one of the last times because we don't get to commentate as much with Street Fighter like 6 as much outside of like Evo and some small stuff. Like this is one of like I feel this is one of our greatest times commentating together. Like, and it shows by my affection to be able to physically grab up Say Jam. I only do that when I'm really close to somebody. Okay, I know those guys.
Yeah, I think the other one was with Rip also. Like you and Sajam and you and Rip have commentated many huge grand finals, huge top 8 moments in the FGC across like DBFZ, Street Fighter, and Tekken. And I mean, I gotta admit, there's a little bit of an occupational hazard. It seems like if it gets too hyper on Steve, you gotta be careful. There might be limbs flying all over the place. I mean,
look,
it's part of the job.
It's part. Look, what did somebody say? Somebody said they needed insurance to commentate with Tasty Steve. I was like, look, man, all right, you know what? Let me calm down. Sometimes I cross my arms. I'm like, I'm gonna grab myself. I'm gonna just hug myself so I don't grab my co-commentator, bro. I'm telling you, but it's hard. The games are so good, Brian. But
I think that energy is huge. I think that type of energy is so important to wrap people into it, to feed off that own energy. Like those kind of moments are what make history. I mean, I still love that picture of you and Rip at Common Breaker in the pits.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure which top 8 that was, but I don't know if you recall. But you know what photo I'm talking about? Yeah, you're levitating. You're literally levitating from the height. Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like, it's crazy we always talk about that photo because it looks like I'm just like flying, right? And she's like, yo, you jumped really high, but you weren't that. It's just like the scale of what we do. And like I was recently just like randomly looking at some of Vexany's like work, and like that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. You see the emotion of every person, what side they're connected to, who they wanted to win, and you don't even need to see what's happening on the screen at the time. Like, it's so crazy, and they just tell a story. And like, I think that like being a part of those stories is something that like we should take advantage of. Like us, the Street Fighter League days, like all the stuff that you're doing right now, like all those things are like a part of history now. Like to the point where like, just like the things that I was telling you about coming up in like St. Louis and all those people that I met in all my travels, like there's not much record of those kinds of things. And a lot of that stuff is just like memories. So like, that's why this time is important. And all those people like traveling with their friends and like getting money to like save up to go on to come to an event for the first time. Some dude at Evo France, just sidebar, he told me, he was like, bro, I'm so happy that like this happened. He's like, cause I would never have the amount of money in my life to fly to an Evo in the USA. He's like, and this happened. He's like, me and my friends saved up to catch a train together to come here. And I was like, that is the dopest shit I've ever heard. Like that's the spectacle. People, I know that this is worth it because like I did this even before there was money. Like there were years where we did not get paid. And even in some of those tournaments where I did do pretty good, like we won like $25. Like, that is literally like a fraction of the trip. Like that's how long like it goes back. So like for stuff like this and people who really are like about this space and like wanted to grow, and even if you know what I'm saying, it is to this point where like obviously you're not competing like you used to. I mean, I don't know for 100%. I know you still enter the War Warriors and stuff, and I see you at the Say Jam Slam and whatnot, etc. But like there are not many people in this space that I feel like can like properly document, articulate, and put things out there for people to consume. And I'm happy that you have become one of those people and that we have all kind of circulated in this space to like, even if it's not like us doing hardcore competing or, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that, being able to help out on like the production side or being a commentator or being somebody that produces these pieces where people can find out more in a good light, by the way, in a good light that really does put some explanation to it and, you know, and are definitely productive about like what they put into it. That's what I'm here for. And obviously I got some shit that I'm not a fan of all the time. Peas, I'm looking at you, but I'm here for us to have fun, bro. I tell you this all the time. Bro. When the first time I met you, I'm like, bro, let's play games. You know what I'm saying? You know why we're here. And I just wanted to be shown exactly how we see it. I'm sorry to rant, but you know.
Well, let's play some games. I'm trying to play some Sea Viper mirrors. I don't know. You're on that Sea Viper thing?
Okay. Well, look, I'm definitely down. I'm 100% down. still hovering at master, and I'm just now getting to the
Okay.
point where I'm understanding the Oki a little bit. So soon, I promise you soon.
Okay.
100% soon.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Trust me, that character is hard. I'm trying to put some work in. I'm trying to have a competent Viper. The C Viper stands for competent. That's my goal right now. You know, she's a little complex.
I like that. Competent Viper. You know, as the more I play with her, though, she gets to the, like, I like her instant cash out. Obviously, she has, like, a lot of routes, but I think one of the coolest things is a lot of damage with these routes. It's like the payoff is perfect, but that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, you get a little bit of extra sauce on your damage, you know, if you go the extra mile for the jump cancels and all that. It feels good, man. You get to press some buttons. It makes my old Street Fighter 4 boomer heart feel good, you know. Takes me back to the good old days of Street Fighter 4, right?
I still got it. You hit one Viper, I still got it. You know.
Absolutely. Well, Steve, you're kind of an international guy. You're all over the place. Where in the world are we going to be seeing Steve next? If you told me stories about you in Thailand and I think in Peru and all over South America, you've been all over. Is there any what's going on? What's next for Tasty Steve? Where in the world? I feel like it's Where Waldo, but with fighting games for you, because you show up on the most unexpected streams for me. I'm not like tuned in to like what's happening. I think it's most of the Tekken World Tour. They do events all over the place. Give us a clue. Can you let us know like where are you going to be next? Where in the world are you showing up for fighting games?
So I will be doing. Hopefully this is announced, and if it's not, now you know Street Fighter League. I will be holding it down for some time there. I don't know how much time, but I'll be there. I'll be at Street Fighter League, and that's gonna be in Southern California, and it's recorded live. So if you want tickets, if this is out in time, get yourself some. Pull up. I know they got a World Finals thing that's going down too that you guys can get a part of. Check it out. But also on the Tekken side of things, I should be in Sweden for the finals, for Tekken World Tour Finals. And I've never been to Sweden, so let's go.
Wow, man, you're still going to new places all these years later. It's crazy how many different countries you've been to. It's really inspiring. As someone who didn't travel much before fighting games either, the fighting games kind of got me to get out and see a little bit more of the world. You definitely inspire me to get out and try to connect with more people. So, Steve, once again, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing your journey with us. Is there anything you want to say to the people? The floor is yours. Anything you want to put out there before we wrap this thing up? I had a great time with this conversation, but anything you want to throw out there before we close it out?
Well, likewise, Mr. Brown. If I had a good time chatting, I mean, I always have a good time chatting with you. This is not our first time chatting. We always find some time to chat a little bit. We know how life goes.
Of course.
But like I said before, just to echo the earlier sentiment, I just appreciate somebody like you having a space, a very cool space. I listen to you all the time, bro, and I'm in your streams. I'm a fan and a friend. Please continue doing what you're doing. And to everybody supporting, thank you so much. Whether you're coming to locals or you're learning about it via this stream, this YouTube video, I'm glad that you're here. Brian Epps is one of the good guys. He's a fan of mine, and I'm a fan of his. So thank you guys so much for supporting. And just, follow me on all my socials. I'm terrible at posting on there, but when I do, it's always gold. At Tasty_Steve everywhere. You can follow me on Twitch. I stream there when I'm not traveling around the world. Brian knows it's true. And yeah, man, just, keep making noise and support your locals, man, and play new fighting games too. There you go. Right.
Keep making noise. Proper sign off from Tasty Steve. Okay, that'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for participating in Tasty Steve, and thank you guys for listening at home. Catch you in the next one. Peace. That wraps up this episode of Trash Talk. If you're watching on the brand new Trash Talk dedicated YouTube channel or on your video feed on Spotify, you'll be seeing some names going by on the screen right now. These are our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/Brian_F. Without their support, this show and this new revamped season of Trash Talk would not be possible. I know there was a decent amount of wait between our last episodes, but we're really excited to now hit the ground running and delivering you continuous and improved Trash Talk content from here on out. And once again, this would not be possible without your support over at the Patreon page. So thank you so much for supporting Trash Talk, and thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.